I'm not gonna lie, today I was not in the mood to make a video for YouTube, but I have pinned this up everywhere around my house. And so here I am being consistent. I thought this was a good start to the video because it's very much in alignment with having a vision board. It keeps you on track. So a vision board is just so powerful because even when you're not looking at that vision board, I believe that energetically it is pulling towards you these sort of experiences you want. So anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make an effective and successful vision board. I did my time, I cried through nights or darkness till I reached the light. I wouldn't change the challenges, they turned me to a dime. I used to think I wasn't perfect, the truth is I still don't, but it don't hurt, cause if you ain't got work, then how you gonna grow? What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly Williams, and at the moment my work goes underneath In Me Arting, which means the light within me. Of course, that light was cultivated in the darkness, so you can find me on social platforms like Instagram and TikTok under inme.arten. Anyway, let's get on with today's video. So as you already know, today we're going to be talking about a vision board, or I'm going to be sharing my tips on how to make a really effective vision board. I have literally been doing this kind of stuff for years, but I think that my practice has got much better. I think I started doing this when I was 21, sort of writing 5 years in advance, 3 years in advance, 2 years in advance. And honestly, I really wish I still had my first one from when I was maybe like 20 or 21, whatever age I was, where I wrote 5 years in advance, because it says something like, I have a health and lifestyle YouTube channel that blah, 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 has this many subscribers, and I've been in these places in the world, and you know, like slowly over time, it's kind of happened, even though hadn't even really revisited that. But anyway, it's so cool. And I think it's really good to be just writing down your ideas, because it brings them down from mind to ground. And when they come from mind and they actually come onto paper, I really believe that in the background they sort of circulate, and it's almost like this energetic ball when you have a vision board that sort of like goes out and keeps working on it sort of undercover, even if you're not placing conscious attention to it, because you've already brought that sort of idea down. And if you word it correctly, or word it in a way in which I'm going to suggest, then I think it works even better. So yeah, with a vision board, a lot of people like to use images, but I actually like to use writing, and it's totally up to you what you do. Here's mine. And I'm going to tell you, this is the first time that I have made a vision board that is sort of ever expanding. So it's on my wall, but I add to it as I think of new things. So I write it and then I pin it up and I let it keep sort of going. So yeah, I've got a couple of them here so I can just read some of the things throughout this video. But yeah, you know, I think whether you have it fully expanding or whether you have a focused vision board is up to you, and whether you use pictures or whether you use writing is up to you, or a mixture of both. But I definitely use writing, and the reason I use writing, I'm going to talk about this first, is because basically when you print off a picture, like the picture's already been formed, and that's great, like I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but when I use writing, I form the picture myself. So it's like I use writing so that I paint the picture in my mind as I write. I tell a story, and that paints a picture in my head, so it's my own created picture. Do you know what I mean? So that is why I personally use writing, but I write in a very specific way, which I will touch on later. Right, so yeah, when it comes to vision board, like I guess step one for me is giving it a name. I literally love to give my vision board a name, because I feel like when you name it, when you give it a name, it's almost like you give it this sense of direction. And I always give it a year as well. So it's like, I give it a 12-month almost period, but it could be longer, but I just know that I can revisit it in 12 months then. So it almost like goes like out of date, or it's like, okay, do you want to touch this up? Do you want to change anything? You know, now that 12 months of life has occurred. I'm quite lost without a vision board, I'm not going to lie, like it's something I always need to do. So this one is for 2021. My first vision board that I remember was called My Life Be Like. And I can't remember what I had on it, but it was based on that. There was that song, it was like, my life be like, ooh, my life be like. So yeah, anyway, that was in my head, and that was probably my first proper vision board. It was my life be like, and I drew it in like whatever graffiti, and then I stuck all the things that I wanted on there, which I really can't remember now. That was my first one. My next one was called Expansion. I actually expanded a lot in that year, so that title took me to expansion for sure. The next vision board I created didn't last very long. It was only a 6-month one, and it was called Welcome, and that's because I wanted to welcome a new experience. And I most certainly did. I ended up moving back home. And then as I moved back home, I created this one. And this one is called the Karmic Climb. So, and that is because I want to be propelled into a new experience this year, and I want to climb the karmic thread and have so many new things occur that I create a new type of a karma, that I'm over the old karma that I've had. So I give it a title so that I give it a sense of direction, a sense of something that I want to achieve over this year that isn't necessarily a specific goal, but once again, more of an image. You know, the karmic climb, expansion, welcome, you know, and it just the title in itself tells a story in a way. So I try and have it as something that implies movement. Do you know what I mean? So when I step, this vision board creates some form of new movement, some new arena for me to travel. And then I almost give it like a little slogan as well. So this one says, "Let the stage teach me and the heart guide me." So once again, it's kind of implying what I want, and that is I want to find my position on the stage this year, and I want my heart to guide me through it. So again, such a small sentence paints a big picture, and that is why I like to use words, because I just think you can create more momentum and almost more space with words than you can with a picture. The second thing is, I guess, deciding what it is that you actually want to achieve this year, or what you want to achieve in the year. And, you know, I almost, like, I want to say this, I almost try and give it some form of a theme, or I try not to put like too many things on there. For example, you know, if you really want to build your career, maybe make a lot of career-based ones. If you really, really, really want to work on your health, maybe make a lot of health-based ones and then a couple of career ones. I almost have like, a sort of a theme, you know, like something that takes the bulk of the board, because I think sometimes if it's too sporadic, if there's too many things, like there's too many directions that this vision board has to go in. And if you can have like maybe like 4 that are almost linked, or 5 sentences that are almost linked in some way, shape or form. For example, if you want to work on your health and you say, "Oh, I can do 10 push-ups this year. My handstand progress is phenomenal. I look at myself in the mirror and I love my new body shape." You know, like they're all sort of in alignment with each other, and so they can almost all circulate together and go and send out those vibes and attract that. Whereas if it's like, I have a new car, I have a new house, I do this and I did that, and my friends are all here, like I feel like it's very scattered, and sometimes like I just feel like the energy won't be able to work as well. So yeah, I almost try and have a bulk. And then little things as well that you want, and those little things, they can circulate in the background while the bulk's doing its thing, and sometimes they can come forwards sooner than expected, and sometimes they just don't, and maybe they're for your next vision board, like, you know, as you develop. But man, honestly, every vision board things have occurred where I'm like, oh, I achieved that, and I don't look at it every day, I don't read it every day, I just let it do its thing there, and I've been me. But I've already, it's like an energy portal almost, I feel. Anyway, so you name it, you almost think of a bulk, and you kind of get a rough notepad and pen, and you start writing things down, things that you want to achieve. And then what I suggest doing is creating your sentences, right? Almost as like mini paragraphs, and I'm going to show you one of mine for example. And yes, they can be goal specific, but actually with the vision board, I try to be less goal specific. You could probably have a goal specific section of something somewhere else in your house that's like numerical and kind of things like that. And then sometimes you can even include the numbers in here, you know, like I can do 10 push-ups now or whatever, but I try and keep it energetic, of dense energetic value, as opposed to numerical value, because I think numerical value is sometimes much smaller than actual energetic value, which is momentum and movement and feeling, if you know what I mean. So here we go, I'll give you an example. My words are felt and my face is seen, but most importantly, the love and wisdom present in my spirit that is passed into all that I create is absorbed by the masses and aids in generating a more loving spirit. So for example there, like I could have just been like, I have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube that listen to me and love my content, you know? But I felt like that's legitimate as a sentence, but this is much more meaningful. It has feeling. My words are felt and my face is seen. There's nothing about numbers. It's not about how many things. It's not about it, but it's about density of experience, you know? Let me look at this one, right? My body is back in peak performance. I am strong, mobile, and finally appreciate my lean reflection as I look in the mirror. And that's because, I want to say, like, I finally appreciate my lean reflection as I look in the mirror, because I now picture myself telling a story. I picture myself appreciating my body, and that means I know it's in the shape that I want it to be in. I don't need to say I lost 12 kilos, or not that I'm trying to lose 12 kilos, but I don't need to say that. So I say I appreciate my lean reflection in the mirror, as opposed to making it, again, numerical. I make it feeling, I make it dense and rich in experience, is what I'm trying to say. So another one. Material gain is something I now experience, but is never of primary concern. What always comes first is love, wisdom, spirit, and peace. What I have to offer is therefore not limited to those that can financially afford. So again, I'm saying, like, I help people, and I don't just help people with money, because that's important to me, that we can help everybody in this world. And I don't say about how much money I earn, I just say material gain is something I now experience. I experience open-minded and honest relationships with people in which a mutual exchange of love and energy occurs. And once again, like, I'm giving loads of examples here just because I want to. But again, I'm not saying I found the one, I found my dream girl. Like, I'm saying, like, I have honest, open relationships. These are what I want from relationships, mutual exchange. It doesn't matter who it is, where it is, I just know that I want that. And that's why I've put that on there. My YouTube channel took a long-awaited turn with my subscriber count and watch time skyrocketing. It continues to climb, but I am happy to say that after all these years, my channel is finally financially supporting me. So once again, I'm not saying I earn hundreds of thousands of pounds through YouTube and making it very shallow. I'm making it as deep as possible. Like, like, this is a story, like, it talks about the past, but it also talks about the present, and then talks about the future. It's still climbing. It skyrocketed, things changed, it took a turn, and it just tells a story, and it just has more energy in it, I think, than just plain and simple numbers. I feel at peace in my home. I have created a den that captivates, educates, and energizes both myself and any guests that enter. And that is just, that again, just another one. I can afford to eat well, to keep well, to treat my friends and family, and to have fun in the material world. Though I may not yet be rich, my monetary wealth continues to grow, and I'm more than comfortable. All that I need, I easily pay for. Again, no figures, it's just what I want. I want to be able to easily pay for whatever it is I want. I want to be able to have fun in this material world. I want to be able to treat my family and friends, but I'm not going to be concerned with how much is in my bank account. I just know that that is how I want to feel, so I make it feelings based. I am financially supported, materially abundant. Lack is no longer an experience. Though abundance is present and mine to feel, I understand deeply why I had to experience lack in the past. It has shaped me into an individual that is humble and never wasteful. It brings me great joy to share my abundance with my mum and people of the world. Again, just what it is. I work one-on-one with individuals that wish to understand energy so they can step into their most constructive and peaceful expression. My service is wonderful, as is my reward physically and spiritually, though what they pay never competes with what they gain. And that to me is just saying, yes, I provide a service. I'm stepping into this service, whether that's my astrology readings, whatever it is, I'm going to step into that role, though what they pay it's never more than what they gain. What they gain spiritually and whatever it is that I have to offer is more than the money that they give me. Like, that's kind of what I'm trying to say, is worth much more. I have like an interview style thing here. It says, question, how many followers do you have? And my answer is, I wouldn't say I have any followers. I have a large audience of people, be they students, teachers, friends, or family, that both engage with and learn from my content. Because that is far more important to me than having just numbers. I want feeling, I want to know that I'm doing good in the world, and that is basically how I sort of write my vision board. I paint pictures with words, yeah? And I think that is really, really beneficial. So that's the next step. Paint pictures with words, and they can be goal related. For example, here, this is a really short one. I did create an oracle deck last year with my creative partner at the time, and it says, an unfoldment of consciousness, which is the title of the oracle deck, guides hundreds of thousands of people. It's really small, really simple, but it's there doing its thing. So hopefully it will guide hundreds of thousands of people one day. So that is, I guess that is the next step, where we are, maybe step 3. We had title it, get a bulk theme, start writing these sentences. You know, you might want to write them out in rough first and play with them, put feeling into them, paint pictures. I really hope I've explained that really well. Like, not like I lost 12 kilos. I love wearing my blue jeans that are a size 10. I feel so confident as I'm walking down the street, and I'm proud of myself because I've learned so much about health and fitness on this journey. I can't wait to continue working on my health and fitness into the new year. You know, like something like that. You know, I have learnt to manage my stress levels, and, you know, now I find peace within every situation. Instead of like, I go to a meditation class 10 times a week. 10 times a week, that's a bit extreme. Anyway, but you know, you catch my drift. I feel strong and stable when performing push-ups on my hands and toes, even as opposed to I can do 8 push-ups. Do you know what I mean? To put feeling in it, I feel strong and stable as I perform push-ups on my hands and toes. That's telling me you can do push-ups as opposed to just, I can do 8 push-ups. You know, this is how we affirm. This is the best way to affirm. Right, so once you've got your main affirmations, then you just pop on there like other little things, well, I do anyway. So energy reader, I just wrote that. I'm busy but never exhausted. Intuitive, loving daughter, because that's so important to me to be close to my mum. You know, we're great friends. Lyricist, teacher, astrologer, author. I experience great creative connections, spiritual guide. Just things on there that mean a lot to me. And then I decorated it. I decorated it with the yin yang symbol because that's something that means a lot to me. I put 11 on there because it's my life path number. I put this on in the background. It's the energy of the sun, and the sun is related to the public. Well, sorry, that's not true. But the sun is related to the stage, which is obviously what I'm saying. I want to find my place, not necessarily on the stage, but my place, you know, on the stage, I guess so, because I write poems and music and all this stuff. And you could almost class YouTube as a stage. But the sun for me is in my 10th house, which is the house of career. And so I put a nice big sun on there because that's something that I want to develop this year. I love the energy of the planet Uranus. So I literally did a big lightning bolt in the background. I love the energy of the number 33, the great peaceful teacher. And I think that's it, because I was really feeling the sun and Uranus and the yin yang symbol for masculine feminine balance, and the numbers 33 and 11. Yeah, so that is basically it. You just pop those other little bits on there and then pin it up in a place anywhere and let it do its thing, let it work its magic. And if you ever think of any more statements, this is my first expanding one. Do you know what I mean? I normally just kept it like that, left it there. This is my first expanding one. You know, if you want to add pictures, I just then, stick them around it on the wall and keep adding as I need to, so that those sorts of things can begin to manifest if that's what the path wants for me. So yeah, that is how you make a vision board, or how I make a vision board, or how I would suggest making a vision board. And seriously, it is one of the most beneficial things to do. I'm not even joking about the consistency thing that I pinned everywhere today. I literally almost didn't make this video, but I went into my room, I was not in the best mood, and I just got into my bed and I saw my vision board on the wall, and I was like, do you know what, just go and make the vision board video. Like, you've seen consistency everywhere today. I've been really not in the best mood today, not feeling the most energetic, but that consistency pumped me up. And yeah, now here I am making this video, and I loved doing it. So I just gotta hope my phone recorded. Anyway, so yeah, that is it. If you have any questions, please drop them below. If you made it this far, thank you for spending your time on my channel and for watching my video. I do appreciate it. If you like my content, why not subscribe to my channel, because I will have heaps more to come. I'm always so bad at the outros. Share this if you feel like there's somebody that needs to create a vision board. And yeah, just thank you for being on my channel, supporting and helping me grow on YouTube. So I appreciate that. And yeah, now I'm at that lost point again, so I will round it off by saying what I always say, which is I will see you in the next video.